Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another AB Daily News with the hockey coach, Guru Coach FRENCHY. Today, episode number 317. What do you mean, coach, today? First of all, guys, I want to talk about three Montreal Canadiens prospect most approved in 2023-2024. Following by the Montreal Canadiens rumor, another proposal for me, guys, for the Montreal Canadiens. Finally, news and update of the Memorial Cup 2023. But before we start, we invite you, don't forget to please click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comments about this episode. And let's dive in and talking about my first subject of the day. Yesterday, we talked about fourth friend players for the Montreal Canadiens with most approved in 2023-2024. Today, I want to do now three Montreal Canadiens prospect most approved for the upcoming season. The first one I want to talk about is Kaden Primo, drafted by the Montreal Canadiens in 2017, 199 overall pick, 7th round. He played only, guys, 21 games so far in NHL. The 23 years old have to prove at some point to the Montreal Canadiens if he deserves to have a spot, or if not, he will have to figure out something else. This is a really important year for Primo. The last couple of years, he has a very good year for the Laval Rocket, but he has the difficulties to find a spot with the Montreal Canadiens. And for me, it's more about his consistency. He really struggled. His record in NHL, 3-12-2, and a big goal against average of 4.11 and a save percentage only of 8.71. This is going to be a very important year for Primo. Secondly, remember, Primo, if ever he returns in Laval Rocket, he cannot be exempt of the waiver. So Montreal have to put him on the waiver if ever he returns with Laval. This is something Montreal is a bit concerned. My second player, guys, is Jesse Allen, 23 years old, drafted second round for the Montreal Canadiens in 2018, 35 overall pick. Played 37 of the 52 game in NHL last season with the Montreal Canadiens. 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points. He proved to the Montreal he deserves to have a spot for the upcoming season, but he has to fight for that spot versus RHP, Emil Henneman, and many other young prospects like Sean Farrell, Joshua Roy, and Riley Kidney. So Allen, at 23 years old now, is not exempt of the waiver anymore in NHL like Kaden Primo. So if he returns to Laval Rocket, he has to go through the waiver list NHL. And finally, for Allen, he has to have some kind of agreement with the Montreal Canadiens. Right now, he's a RFA with the Montreal Canadiens. My last player of this subject, guys, is Sean Farrell, drafted 124 overall pick by the Montreal Canadiens in 2020. Last season, in 34 games, he has 20 goals, 33 assists for a total of 53 point. Plus, he has 6 games with the Montreal Canadiens with 1 goal. We saw some kind of inconsistency with him. Sometimes he needs to readjust his speed. His physicality is a bit a problem for him compared to Primo and Allen. Sean Farrell is exempt of the waiver, so that's helping the Montreal Canadiens to return him maybe for the upcoming season with the Laval Rocket. But whatever Farrell play and the Team USA National Development, play in the USHL with the Chicago Steel, play with Harvard. Every step he play at any level, he always performing. We just need to be patient with Sean Farrell. So this concludes, guys, my first subject, the top prospect Montreal Canadiens most approved for the 2023-2024. Talk about Primo, Allen, and Farrell. I would like to hear from you guys. Leave me a comments about this subject, and let's move on for my second subject of the day. Second subject, yes, you know, it's a Montreal Canadiens rumor. I have another proposal. This time, guys, is with who, coach? The Montreal Canadiens versus the New York Rangers. Why? Because Montreal Canadiens could make a trade for the right winger for the Rangers. Draft second overall pick, just 1 spot prior, Kirby Dach. We know last year Montreal Canadiens make a big splash trade with the Chicago Blackhawks. They trade Romanov to Islanders for the 13th overall pick, and then they trade that pick for the Chicago Blackhawks for the Kirby Dach. I can see some kind of similar situation with the Montreal Canadiens. They could trade with the New York Rangers for Capo Caco. Scored 18 goals last season, guys, 40 points in 82 games. In return, Montreal Canadiens trade their first round pick for the Calgary Flame 2025 protected. If ever Calgary finish at the bottom 10 of NHL, they keep that pick. Montreal Canadiens is going to give the 2026 first round pick for the Rangers. And with that pick, Montreal Canadiens trade this year, 2023, the fourth round pick from the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, this is really interesting. We know Jeff Gordon draft Kako when he was the Director General with the Montreal Canadiens. We know some kind of problem with Kako since he played in the NHL. He has 98 points with over 200 games in NHL. Compared to Dak almost similar with 97 points. I think Kako could be a good part of the future with the Montreal Canadiens. I would like to hear from you guys. If you're a Montreal Canadiens, do you make the deal? If you are the New York Rangers, is it good enough? And finally, you said yes, both teams should make a deal together. This concludes, guys, my second subject of the day, and let's move on for my last subject of this episode. Oh yes, the time to talk about the Memorial Cup 2023. We have one game last night, a shocking outcome. What are you talking about, Coach? The Quebec Remparts lost against the Peterborough by the score of 4-2. We know Peterborough lost the game prior again the Kamloops by the score at 10-2, and now that's changing completely, guys, everything on the standing. But before we talk about the standing, we want to remind you tonight, Kamloops and the Seattle Thunderbird play each other, and this is really important game because from the standing, Quebec is still at the first position with 4 points, and whatever happening last night, they are going to play in the final Memorial Cup 2023 this Sunday. But now, the winner of this game between Kamloops and Seattle Thunderbird, they are going to go straight to the semifinal. And for the first time since, guys, 2015, we have a tiebreaker game Thursday night. It's going to be between the Peterborough and the team going to lose tonight between Kamloops and the Seattle. That's really interesting, guys, the situation with the Memorial Cup at 2023. Who do you think is the favorite team now to win the Memorial Cup? That's conclude, guys, my last subject of the day. Here we go, another episode done for the HABS Daily News. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget, please click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And of course, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.